is to co-create cultures that enhance the well-being of the Filipino workforce. And how do we do that? We do it through what is called the positivity ripples. We start by leading the self, and we do this by teaching you guys through sessions like these, free webinars, trainings, and other coaching sessions to teach you how to become better leaders of your own well-being. When you are a better leader of your own well-being, only then can you start to lead others. And once you infect others with that, with the well-being concepts that you've learned, you can now pave the way for cultures to spread. And these cultures like cohesion and compassion are what pave the way for what we call positive workplaces. So ayan ang aming strategy on how we make our mission come to a reality. So what you're tuning into today is the second session of our free webinar series this April, which is we're going to be talking about coach leaders. And later this week, this Friday, to be exact, we have another free webinar session with our CEO and co-founder, John Baluyot. So please stay tuned for those. I just have a couple of reminders for you guys before we start the learning session. One is to have another device to be ready to go to another link. Ayan, for those who's na hindi nyo first time to join a Positive Workplaces learning session, gumagamit kami ng Mentimeter. So you don't necessarily have to have another device, kahit another tab, to be ready to go to links so that you can really participate in our session. So of course, if you want to take notes, have a pen and paper for that. We also have a chat box and we highly encourage you to use it, although please be respectful to everyone within the chat. And lastly, meron po kaming evaluation form na isi-send at the end of the program. Again, I repeat, at the end of the program. So that's going to be open for 30 minutes only, and make sure to put your full name and email address in the right bars kasi we will not be resending e-certificates kung nagkamali po. So please put your name with the correct spelling and whatnot, because what you put on the bars will be reflected on the certificate itself. So ayun, kung hindi nyo pa nakukuha yung certificate nyo, please wait at least 2 days before sending us an email. So ayun, I hope that everyone was able to get that. Moving forward with our series for today, we have Jericho Kapinpin, who is a Positive Workplaces consultant. He's been with Positive Workplaces for over a year, and we love having him on the team. He's also one of our resident coaches. So he's now going to teach you what it means to be a coach leader and how that benefits the team. So Gio, why don't you take it away?
Thank you so much, Alma, for that introduction. Let me share my screen first. No? Yeah. Okay. A wonderful afternoon to everybody. I hope all of you are hearing me. So if you are hearing me and you're seeing me fine, no, send a heart or a thumbs up sa chat para makita ko na nakakasunod kayo at naririnig niyo yung mga sinasabi ko. No, so please heart away. Yan. Thank you so much. Good afternoon. Ang dami pong nakakatawang mga sumasali today because we have students, we have, I suppose, student leaders sila, no? People who are working in the government sector, NGOs, mga iba't ibang managers and directors from private companies. So this is an exciting afternoon for all of us to be together and to talk about coaching and how we can practice coaching into our leadership. Okay, so my name is Gio and I'm a training and coaching consultant at Positive Workplaces, and I've been certified as a positive psychology practitioner, and my coach practice is also based in positive psychology, and they're all from the Flourishing Center in New York. So we have an interesting discussion to have this afternoon. No? Kayo po ba ay coach leader? And we will try to understand how can we benefit in our teams this coaching practice, no, that we have. A lot of you mentioned na you have coaches in your own circles. So I am really interested to see kung paano natin pagbabanggain. Ano nga ba yung coaching na na-experience nyo and how that might be different to what I would be sharing. Hopefully not so much. No? So let's get this show on the road. Okay? So here is our learning journey for this afternoon. So unang-una, alamin natin, why do people seek coaches? Why do they even look for coaches in the first place? And why would it matter for us as leaders to know this reason. Next is that we will try to understand now what skills make a leader a coach. No, ano nga ba yung napapractice ng isang coach na pwede nating dalhin bilang isang leader? And if there are volunteers later, if there is a volunteer later, we might be able to take a look at what could a coaching conversation look like. Okay, so I'm already preempting this now. If any of you are feeling like there would be a reason for you to ask help or to get support from coach, I am willing to spend a around 15 minutes to coach with you on your particular issue. So if you're already feeling like there is something that you want to bring up, you can prepare yourself being witnessed by our 650 participants, not to put the pressure on you, but everybody will get to witness, but you are donating your body to everybody's learning, essentially. Kasi yun nga, whatever issue you bring forward, everybody will hear, but also they will witness the process of coaching take place. So please, no, if you're willing to brave and bring forward your issue, I would love to help you out. And then finally, as we witness a coaching conversation, dito natin makikita at mahihimay paano nga ba nagiging coach ang isang tao. No? And meron bang requirements, right? Or ano nga ba talaga yung kailangan gawin ng isang leader para mabuhat niya yung pagiging coach niya. Alright? So, let us not delay this any further. Let me fix lang my screen. So we want to understand first, why do people seek coaches, no? At we will start with a check-in, and I would love to hear from everybody first, no? Recall a recent moment when someone supported you or helped you out. Natulungan po kayo at naramdaman yung nasuportahan kayo. So I want to ask you, how did you feel in this moment, or how did that person make you feel? So Joyce has kindly shared us the Mentimeter link, and we will have you join us there as we switch over to learning from everybody. Ano nga ba yung naging experience nyo with support and yung natulungan kayo. Okay? So, eto na, may mga pumapasok ng responses. Sabi nila, they feel encouraged and relieved. Okay? They're feeling grateful and empowered. That makes them feel confident and motivated. Sabi nila, appreciative, very grateful, I feel so blessed, I'm very shocked and feel love. Okay, no, I think ayan, thank you Alma for supporting us there. So yeah, no, ecstatic, relieved, satisfied, motivated, valued, proactive. I felt understood and it boosted my confidence. I felt hopeful of my situation. 'Di ba ang ganda ng pakiramdam na natutulungan tayo and we are supported, right? Look at all the answers here, no? Motivated, valued, thankful, happy, no? So imagine na yan yung energy nyo when you're doing something important, tapos 'di ba natutulungan kayo. Ang ganda siguro nung nangyayari, no? So right, Faith, no, para Faith is sharing a heart in the chat, and I totally agree with you. Parang ang sarap ipusuan lahat ng mga na-share ng mga taong naging feeling nila or how they felt because of the person that helped or supported them. So yung next question natin, and we'll be staying in the Mentimeter, no, is what were your reasons for asking help or support? Or if you didn't ask it, what do you think the person noticed when you were given help or support? Hindi nyo na hiningi, binigay lang sa inyo kusa. Again, ayan, meron po tayong Mentimeter link, and then we are just waiting for people to fill in their responses here. So sabi ng mga tao, no, they feel stuck. They're looking for guidance. They felt overwhelmed. Gusto pa nila mag-build ng knowledge. They were feeling confused. Kailangan nila magklaro. Sabi nila, because I needed it. Simply put, right? Academic support, sabi nung isa. Understanding. Baguhan ka pa. Feeling blessed. And I am helpless. No? Guidance. No? So, ang dami sa atin, kapag kailangan ng tulong, no, it helps that we know that we're coming from a place of confusion. There is that deep desire for some guidance and some support. No, kailangan may klaruhin. Kailangan merong pa tayong mabuild na knowledge. We were often feeling stuck or struggling or even depressed or lost. No, felt weak and lack of competence. No, so ito yung mga naging iba't ibang reasons kung bakit kayo tumulong. And nasabi natin na when we receive help and support, 'di ba? At may mga kaakibat na magandang emotions na nasasama yon. Sabi nga ni Romela, to know more. That's why they asked for help or support. And the reason why I asked this was because this is not any further from why people actually seek coaches, no? So, let me transfer back to our slides. And I love that this is how it turned out, no? Halos aligned na aligned siya sa kung ano yung sinasabi ng isang master certified coach sa mga dinadalang concerns ng mga coaches niya. No? And this is what's common among most coaches when they when they are approached for help. No? Katulad ng mga nabanggit kanina, sabi nila they feel blessed or that they wanted to know more because something new and exciting is coming. No? Kasi ang daming pwedeng ma-maximize na resources. How can I be ready for something that's really great? I want to be fully prepared or I want to work on weaknesses that I know exists so that I can be fully ready for what's to come, right? Or something terrible has happened. Sabi nung iba, they wanted support or help because they felt depressed or lost. So, ngayon yung tulong pumapasok kasi 'di ba, something terrible has happened. You need to grieve through something. You need to express your negative emotions. You want somebody to empathize with you and to walk you through the felt sadness or loss, right? So ito yung isa sa mga dahilan kung bakit lumalapit ang mga tao for coaches. Marami pa, no? Katulad ng mga nasabi ng iba, confusion or kailangan ng guidance because you've tried everything and nothing is working. Right? It's so impossible na lahat ng pathways na pwedeng gawin sa problema, nagawa nyo na. Kailangan nyo na ng coach kasi they need to help you think outside of the box. Maybe may perspective pa kayo na hindi natitake. So, pumapasok ang coach para matulungan kayong makita yung buong picture. And then sabi nung iba, overwhelming daw yung feeling kaya kailangan ng help or support. That's precisely what a coach can bring. No, when everything is overwhelming, no, may concern sa buhay, may concern sa trabaho, may concern sa bahay. Lahat ito nagkasama-sama na. How can we make sense of all of it? And how can we prioritize what's important, what's not important? A coach can help navigate all of this uncertainty. And then finally, no, so in one of the few ways that a coach can come in and help is how to leap forward. How do we gain confidence? Sabi nung iba, diba, they wanted support because they wanted to feel motivated and they felt na hindi sila enough. Kulang yung competence nila. They weren't confident to do what was necessary. So oftentimes, a coach will come in to identify the resources that are within the person, no? And then makikita nila na, oh, it's actually possible. Doubts, hesitations, they can all work through that. And then finally, when you've just finished on something, no, baka may bagong project nakakatapos lang, kaka-promote ka lang, no, or you were working so hard for a lot of you probably finishing college, and then what do you do next, no? Ano nga ba yung pathway na dapat kunin natin? What road should I take? A coach can come in and help to identify ano nga ba yung pinaka-authentic na option na babagay sa'yo. And I can recall clearly that I've had a client or a coachee come to me and identify for them or help them identify na it's actually a big goal of them to start a restaurant, no, as their main business. That is their long-term career. But they realize na, okay, if I'm going to go there, I need to start building from somewhere, no? So develop skills somewhere na medyo sales related, no? So medyo ganun yung direction, and a coach can help identify that trajectory for people. Right? So, nakikita nyo na ngayon, sobrang relevant, no? Na when people ask for help or support, it's what a coach can also provide, 'di ba? Yung support and help na hinahanap ng mga tao. And when people seek out coaches for these types of concerns, no, ang nakikita natin is that at least in the workplace and in the lives of people, there is a significant productivity boost and positivity boost. Tingnan nyo na lang yung iba't ibang naging bonuses dito. No? Work performance tumaas, business management ng mga directors and managers tumaas, ang team effectiveness, kung paano nagsama-sama ang mga cooperation ng mga iba't ibang units tumaas. No, time management increased. And even better, the positivity boost is there. No, self-confidence goes up, improve the relationships, the communication skills, or how people are able to advocate for themselves better and to clearly communicate what it is that they want, tumataas din yun lalo. No? And of course, nag-i-improve yung work-life balance. So ayan yung nabibigay ng isang coach or someone who practices coaching with people. Okay? So, a part of that study, when they identified all of these perks, was they also understood from coaches or yung mga kumukuha ng coach or those that benefit from a coach, na-identify nila na ganito yung nagiging elements ng isang coaching conversation or ng coaching process. No? They see that it's a focused conversation. Hindi lang po tayo marites, no? Hindi lang po tayo nagkakwentuhan, nag-share ng mga kung ano-anong mga masasama hinanakit, ganyan. May punto yung conversation. Sometimes it can look like a structured work plan, no? Ito yung gusto ko mangyari. This is what I want, A, B, C, D, E, and then you can approach it per step, right? And the conversation revolves around ano nga ba yung action that you need to walk away with. No, you can't have a coaching session and not have something to work on or to act on. No, kailangan may action na kaakibat yan. Next is forward thinking siya. No, and it's not to say that we cannot think about the past and problem solve from there, but oftentimes coaches will think about what is the point moving forward. How can we actually get to the places that we want? Where do we go from here? Ganyan yung forward-thinking process. And ang pinakamahalaga dito is yung purpose-driven. No? When we talk about coaching for clients or for coaches, no, for your team members, it is aligned with their purpose. Hindi lang to kasi ito yung trabaho, kasi ito yung gusto ko para sa iyo. It aligns with their purpose. Maybe people are coming in to coach and they are a specific role in the company. No? Baka HR professional sila, baka salesperson sila. And that the coaching conversation revolves around those purposes sometimes. But it can also revolve around different purposes in life, no? Some people identify their purpose as a mom, their purpose as a friend, no? Or as a community member. No? Paano yung iba't ibang ways that we show up in our life and that the coach can help you identify where you're at. No, sabi nga ni RJ, may goals daw ang isang coaching conversation. That's precisely correct. You cannot have a coaching conversation without setting the goals of what you are going to talk about. No? So bakit ko pinakita itong buong picture na to? Because in reality, if you haven't had a coach yourself, or if you're thinking about you as a leader, how can I practice coaching? It's not very far from what you're already doing as a manager probably or a director. 'Di ba hindi naman kayo nakikipag-meeting nang walang agenda? It's actually something that people do already. You approach a meeting with a work plan. So this is what we need to discuss and then this is what we need to come up with the answers with for. No? Ano yung magiging next steps natin before we meet again? What are we trying to solve in the future? What are we trying to work towards? 'Di ba? It's not very far from what we're familiar with. But there are specific skills that we need to practice as leaders para masabi talaga nating effective yung conversations that we have. So in essence, we are able to coach our team members. Okay? So ito na yung sasagutin natin, no? Na yung coach, ano nga ba siya? Yung coaching, ano nga ba siya? It's actually a partnership between a coach and a coachee in a thought-provoking and creative process that inspires them to maximize their personal and professional potential. This is directly from the International Coaching Federation. Okay? So marami sa inyo nagsabi, di ba, that you felt motivated when you were helped. You felt valued. You felt supported. No? In essence, na ma-maximize yung gana nyo. Di ba? So when coaching takes place, it's actually a partnership or a co-creation between the coach and the coachee, and that they will go through a creative process para ma-maximize and ma-inspire lalo yung coachee, no? Paano ko pa i-maximize yung galing ko? Paano ko pa palalakasin yung mga strengths ko? How can I become a better person? How can I become a better colleague? How can I become a better parent while I'm working at home? No? So these are the different ways that people can maximize in the coaching process. So kung ito yung kailangan mangyari sa isang coach, sa coaching process natin, no, what are the skills that we actually need to practice here? Okay? So iisa-isahin natin yan. Okay? So unang-una, no, as a coach or as a leader who wants to become a coach, we need to hold a coach's mindset. Okay? So what does that mean? And I think it's better to give that or to answer that question by giving an example. Okay? So I'll give you a scenario first. Okay? So ito isang problema to ng coachee, no? Itong this could be a team member, this could be a client, this could be anyone in your team, and that they come up with this problem, no? They approach you and they say, I'm feeling very frustrated recently. I want to start dun sa major project pero hindi ko alam kung saan magsisimula eh. I don't even know if I have it in me to finish all the way through. Meaning, matatapos ko ba talaga yung project? This means so much to me. Pero, I just can't seem to bring myself to just do it like every hardworking person does. What should I do? So, yan yung problema. Okay? So, let's now go to Mentimeter and I want to ask you, okay? If you were an expert with all the answers, no? Ito po yung mindset na titingnan natin. If you were the expert with all the answers, ano po ang sasabihin nyo dun sa coaching? Again, okay? So, ang situation po was, I'm feeling very frustrated recently. I want to start on this major project already, but I'm not sure where to start. I don't even know if I have it in me to finish all the way through. This means so much to me, but I can't bring myself to just do it like every other hardworking person does. No? Ginagawa naman to ng mga masisipag eh. Bakit di ko magawa? What should I do? No? So yan yung po yung ating situation. And I'd love to ask for you, if you weren't an expert with all the answers, what would you say to the coachee? Alright? So lipat po ulit tayo. Yan. Sorry. Ayan. Okay. Okay, so ano po yung sasabihin nyo dun sa coachee? Yan. Sabi ni Christine, nakaka-relate po ako. No, I'm glad that you find relatedness in this excerpt, no? This might be someone who's also present in the team or in our audience today, no? Na nakaka-relate kayo and baka nakakatulong kung ano yung sasabihin ng mga tao dito. Sabi natin, kung expert kayo with all the answers, no? Ano yung sasabihin nyo sa coaching nito? Okay, sabi ng mga tao, do one simple step. Okay. Right? Sabi nung iba, be yourself and always do your best. Okay. Make a plan and do it step by step. No? Sabi ni Elizabeth din, struggle din niya raw. Believe in yourself and believe in your skills. Sabi nung isa, you have to start from somewhere. Have faith and believe. Why don't we start with prioritizing and planning to organize our thoughts? Tapos sabi, you can do it. Simple steps at a time. A step at a time. Okay, so mukhang meron tayong may mga patterns tayo ng responses. So, saglit lang muna tayo, no? Before we move forward. I want to ask si Christine, si Rosemary, and si Elizabeth. Oh, di ba nakaka-relate kayo, sabi nyo? Tapos ito yung maririnig nyo sa expert or sa coach nyo na expert siya at sa kanya lahat ng answers. How would you feel? Or nakakatulong ba yung gantong responses for you? Sabi nila yon, do one simple step, be yourself, always do your best, no? Have faith and believe. Why don't we start with prioritizing? No? Sabi ni Christine, yes daw po. I love that. I'm glad that it's already starting somewhere, no? Meron ng nakakatulong na ng onte. Kay Elizabeth or kay Rosemary kaya, no? Baka, possibly, no? It's possible that it's already helpful that this advice is is helpful. Sabi ni RJ, think every time why you want to do this project and who would benefit this project. Who knows you can help someone in their situation by doing the project. O yon, sabi ni Milagros, yes daw po. Sabi na ni Christine, dinefine niya palalo. Nakakatulong po kasi simple po pala pero parang pinapa-complicate ng isip. Totoo. Totoo, Christine. I love that you're already getting something from this, no? So, 'di ba? Walang mali na ganito yung ating approach. If you were an expert with all the answers, as a coach, no? This isn't wrong for us to practice. Now, but let me differentiate. Let us try a different approach. Okay? Ngayon, same situation po tayo, but this time, ang mindset po natin is if your coachee was very experienced in this and they had the answers in them, what would you say to them instead? Sila po pala yung expert and sila yung magaling, no? At alam mo nasa kanila yung sagot. Ano yung sasabihin mo sa kanila instead? Trust your gut. I love that. Okay? Yeah. Know your worth. All right. How else do you want to approach it? No? Start arranging it. Don't be overwhelmed. Think every time. Ayan na, nasabi na yung kanina. What would you do? No? Give them the benefit of the doubt. What is your plan? Keep up the good work. You're already doing great. Be confident. No one knows this better than you. Fighting. No, know your purpose. Believe in yourself. I know you've been through this before. What did you do in the past that worked that could also be done here? Okay. No? So, naging iba yung approach. Naging iba yung approach. 'Di ba? Kanina, na nag-a-advise tayo because we were the experts. No, we were telling them, ito yung kailangan mong gawin, ha? One step at a time. Believe in yourself, no? Ito naman, dahil nakita natin sila as the expert and alam nila yung sagot, people were they were attacking this differently. They were actually curious as to how the person would approach it instead. How else mo i-approach to? Ano yung gagawin mo? What is your plan? No? Sabi pa nung iba, trust your gut, know your worth, no? Parang pinapump up palalo. Yeah, don't give up. Kayang-kaya mo to. No? Trust in yourself. So, actually, no, in a coach's mindset, the first is okay, no? Being an expert isn't wrong, and sometimes there is a place for us to be able to advise as the expert. But ideally, when we're talking about coaching, no, it's more about yung coach mindset natin should be more on nakikita natin yung coaches natin as whole, resourceful, creative, and experts of their own life. No? When we as coaches approach problems, it is not us that finds the answers for them. It is that we see our clients or our coaches as those experts in their own life. Kasi yun naman talaga yung totoo eh. 'Di ba? We've never lived their life and sila 24 hours nilang binubuhay yung sarili nilang, they live out their own lives, no? So sila yung sariling expert nila. And oftentimes, they are whole, resourceful, and creative and kaya nilang hanapan yung sarili nila, yung solusyon. Sabi nga nung mga mga sasabihin kung expert na yung coachee, 'di ba? Anong gagawin mo? What would you do instead? How would you approach it? Right? This is actually the mindset that we want to have as a leader sometimes when we're also trying to guide our coachees, no? Because imagine now, if I can call on si Christine ulit, sila Milagros, sila Elizabeth, sila Rosemary. Imagine now, no, ang tanong sa inyo or yung sinasabi sa inyo ng coach nyo na yung ganong questions, no, paano mo ba i-approach? No, how would you actually plan this out? Diba? If you could spend a few moments thinking about that, I would love to hear from you. How would you respond to this differently? Right? Because the most important part as in our role as coaches, no, is that when we are sought after by our clients or by our team members, no, ang hirap kapag tayo yung nag-a-advise tas hindi pala natin alam yung buong picture. It's oftentimes that we need to spend a lot more time. We need to a lot more time getting to know the entire situation para lang masabi natin yung tamang sagot. But this time around, when the person is able to identify their own steps, no, hindi sila pwede maging mali kasi buhay nila yon and they would know how to approach best. Right? Yan, sabi ni Sigrid, I believe that in coaching, it's always 80% listening to the coachee and 20% talking on the part of the coach. Since this will give the coachee the chance to realize on their own that they have the answer to their question. Precisely, Sigrid. So sabi ni Madge, super true. Kasi totoong-totoo yan. Yan ang magpapakilos talaga sa mga coachees natin. No? When they have the ability to discern for themselves and identify, oh, this is what I actually want. No, this is the step that I want to take and hindi lang inutos sa kanila. Right? So that is the first skill that we want to hold as a coach, the coach's mindset. All right, next. No? And again, sorry, para lang may reiterate natin pala. Coaching conversations are co-created, no? A good coach, sabi nung iba, be a good listener with a heart. No, when you listen carefully, you can act nicely. So, yun nga po yung nangyayari sa isang coaching conversation. It's co-created. It is not led specifically by the coach. Meron ring ideas na pumapasok sa coachee that actually dictates the direction of their conversations. Yan. Okay? So, ang iiwasan natin, no, and this is just something I found over the internet scrolling through Facebook, yung nag-unsolicited advice tayo, no? Tayo yung expert, so sinabi natin lahat ng pwedeng sabihin. Hindi pa pala natin naiintindihan yung buong situation. So sometimes it can look like this, 'di ba? No? Focus on the positive in the situation. Tapos nalulunod pala yung kasama mo, no? So exactly, no, sabi ni Joseph, toxic positivity. It sometimes can sound like this when we give unsolicited advice. I'm sure some of you students out there have received some type of advice like this. And you can message here if you agree na paminsan ganun nga yung pakiramdam. Nalulunod ka na, sinasabihan ka pang, oh, look on the brighter side of things, right? No, so 'di ba parang ang sakla pakinggan as a coachee or someone who's trying to get guidance, no? So, ayan, yung next skill natin nabanggit na ng iba is listening actively, right? We want to be able to listen actively. And I'll help you practice these skills a little bit further. No? So balik po tayo sa kanina nating situation. Again, this person is saying, I am feeling very frustrated recently. I want to start on this major project already, but I'm not sure where to start. I don't know if I have it in me to finish all the way through. This means so much to me, but I can't bring myself to just do it like every hardworking person does. What should I do? So the question for you now, no, is what is the coachee feeling or thinking in this situation? No? Ano po kaya yung iniisip ng coachee sa sentiment niya na yun kanina? Right? Sabi ni nag-message na kagad si Matt, sabi niya frustrated. Ayan, doubtful, frustrated, overwhelmed, no? Unmotivated, doubtful, lost, unsure, undecided, unmotivated, overthinking. They are doubting themselves, doubtful of own capabilities, comparing him or himself to others, no? Loaded and lost, fear, no? Anxious. I'm glad that this group this group of people this afternoon are so in tune with emotions. Na-pick up nyo kagad tong iba't ibang layers ng emotions na present dun sa sinasabi nung coachee. No? Hindi siya decided eh. No? Nawawala siya, unmotivated, no? Anxious probably, no? And this is the start of the active listening process. What can we hear from this person in feeling or thinking? Right? We have to go beyond what is being said, no? And then the next question is, no, and this can be a little bit more challenging, but I encourage you to try here, no? What do you think is the coachee trying to overcome? Or what does he want to achieve? Ano yung gusto niyang mangyari? What is the goal of the coachee here? What do you think are they trying to overcome? What do they want to achieve? Sabi ni Rosemary, to be perfect. No? Sabi ni Rexter, positive result. Sabi nung iba, no, build self-confidence, no, to create an effective and efficient goal. They want to achieve success. They want to prove that they can do it. They want results. They want to overcome fear. No, they want to boost their self-esteem. They want to prove themselves. They want peace of mind. They want confidence. They want guidance on where to start, no? Korektong lahat, no? These are the different spaces what people are this coachee is really trying to get at, no? Pwedeng korekto lahat, pwedeng magsimula siya anywhere, no? But the fact that you know that there are places in which this person was trying to achieve or overcome, it already establishes that we can actively listen and we can pick up, no? So maybe you were reading, right? Baka sa madali siya kapag binabasa nyo, but you also heard me express it vocally, no? 'Di ba? And I'd love to tell you that that profile of that person, of the coach, no, of the coachee, was actually my own problem, no? I thought about it this morning, and if I were to bring about a coachee problem, that is what I wanted to bring up. And I'd love to, I want to celebrate everybody here for picking up on it, no? Obviously, it is, I want to succeed. I want to gain confidence. I want guidance on where to start. Ito yung iba't ibang areas na gusto kong makuha for myself as a person, 'di ba? I want results to happen. I want to create a process where magkakaroon ako ng resulta, no, na magagawa ko yung kailangan magawa, right? And it's also true that I was feeling doubtful. I was feeling overwhelmed. I was feeling anxious. Right? And for those of you na nakaka-relate dun sa mga sinabi ko kanina, 'di ba? Si nalagpasan na yung mga names, sabi nila Rosemary, nila Christine, 'di ba? It was clear that if you were able to relate to my situation, you might also be able to say na, oo nga, I'm also feeling anxious. I'm also feeling doubtful. Diba? I'm also feeling overwhelming. And it's so important for us coaches to pick up on this. So, I'm so happy that a lot of you are already able to practice this skill, no? Na meron na tayo ng coach's mindset, nakita na natin 'yon, at nakita na rin natin na capable kayo of active listening. Okay? So, our last skill that we should be able to practice, no? Balik na tayo sa slides natin. So, himayin lang muna natin, no? So, sa coaching skills natin, listening actively means that as coaches, we need to listen to what our team members or our coachee is saying, no? We want to be able to paraphrase and mirror our coachee, no? So, yung nagsisimangot siya kasi sinasabi niya na ang sakit ng pakiramdam, no? Or they feel betrayed, they feel hurt, or that they're feeling anxious. Nakikita din sa mukha natin na dinadamdam din natin yung nararamdaman nila, no? And it's so important for us as coaches that we make our coachees feel heard, right? So yung sinasabi nyo na, oh, I feel that I can sense that you're overwhelmed. I can sense that you're anxious. It makes coachees or your coachees feel na naririnig nyo sila. Kasi yun yung emotion na gusto yun yung emotion na nararamdaman nila. And then you say, I can feel that you want to achieve success here. I can really hear that you're trying to gain some self-confidence. Di ba? Maririnig lalo nung coaching nyo na, oo nga no, that's so true. I am trying to achieve success. I am trying to defeat the overwhelming feeling. I want to overcome fear. That is so true. You got that on point. I feel hurt. It's so important for them to feel that. No? And then finally, as coaches, we listen for no, yung goals, yung desires, yung ambitions. Napakita na natin yung emotions and of course commitments and values. 'Di ba? Yun yung kanina pinakita nyo, sabi nyo na you feel that this person was trying to build self-confidence. That's probably an ambition of theirs or a commitment to their own, di ba? I want to build more confidence in myself. That is my commitment to myself, and that is why I'm asking for help. Yeah. And sabi nga, ito sabi ni Yanis, sometimes people need help identifying their emotions. That's also true, no? Na sometimes when your coaches are just expressing their emotions, no, or they're expressing their frustration, hindi pa nila napipinpoint yung emotion na yon. So, nakakatulong that we actually pinpoint it for them or to sort of hint at it na I'm really sensing doubt or fear in you. Is that accurate? Diba? And the coach can start reflecting na, I think that is true. I think that is the case. Right? So, yan, sabi ni Alvin, man-name it nila kung ano talaga nararamdaman nila. That's so important, right? It helps to unpack the entire situation, the feeling that they have with the current struggle that they are trying to overcome. Okay? And then, so, ayan na, ang final skill that we should be able to practice is asking powerful, solution-focused questions. No? So meron po tayong sinusundan dito and I read someone already commenting on it, yung grow model. No? And this is the approach that we can have when we are asking powerful solution-focused questions. We want to identify the goal. We want to understand what is the reality, what is the real situation. We want to know from our coachee ano ba yung options nila. And finally, what is the way forward? How can we actually take the first step? No? So as coaches, we want to have this arsenal of questions to be able to tease out from our coaches yung inherent resourcefulness nila, yung creativity na meron sila, kung paano nila susolusyonan yung mga problema nila sa buhay. Total, 'di ba? Sila yung expert. So we just have to ask them, how would you approach it? How would you actually plan for this? What would you do instead? Ganyan yung ginagawa natin as as coaches, no? So as leaders, we want to be able to hone in this skill. Okay? So, paano nga ba paano po ba tayo magiging isang coach, no? And in comparison to blatantly answer this, in comparison to therapists and psychologists, no? Hindi po actually nililicense ang isang coach. But technically anybody can claim to be a coach, no? But to be able to practice these skills that I've just talked to you about, well, that is what will make a coach a really good coach. No, a coach can be great by advising and by just sharing his peace of mind. No, magaling na siya. He can do well enough as a coach practicing that. Pero kung gusto talaga natin ng malalim na coaching and really transformative yung magiging conversation natin, it's meaningful for our coaches or our team members, we need to be able to practice the skills. No, so I would love to now shift into maybe we can witness what it means to actually practice as a coach, no? So nakita na natin yung iba't ibang yung kaninang model natin for questions, no? When we ask powerful solution focused questions, they are about the goal, the reality, their options and the way forward. Ito po yung examples natin, no? And just to give you an idea of how that might work, this is now the best time to ask for a volunteer. Meron po ba from our audience that has something that they wanna move forward with and bring it forward with a coach? No? Ako po ang tutulong sa inyo. I would gladly coach for you. And we can just spend 15 minutes answering these questions together. No? Kung meron po, just raise your hand or say me. Otherwise, we will fall back with our person who has gladly volunteered a while ago kung walang makakapag volunteer. No? So I'll give you 10 seconds to think about it, ponder on what is it something that you want to work with. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Ako po yung, ay sabi ni Veronica, I highly encourage you to give it a shot. What do you mean, Veronica? Baka nagsha-shout out ka lang sa mga tao, or are you meaning me? Yeah. Oh, there you go. Thanks, Nikki. Sorry, I totally, I totally skipped over that. Yes, please do, please do. Okay. So mukhang all right. Sabi po ni Gabby, I can vouch for the coaching experience with Gio. All right, Bernaliza has gladly volunteered. No, so Bernaliza, if it's okay for you, if you could turn your camera on. If you're not comfortable, you can just speak through your mic. I'd love to hear your voice first. Bernaliza, are you there?
Yes po.
Hi, Bernaliza. Kamusta ka?
I'm fine po at the moment.
You're fine at the moment.
Opo, kasi po ang ganda po ng engaging ng speaking. Hindi po siya nakakantok.
I'm glad that that's the case. Thank you so much for sharing that with me. So, Bernaliza, is there a nickname that you go by?
Po?
Do you have a nickname that you go
Berna
by?
po.
Berna. Okay. So, Berna, iisa-isahin lang natin tong questions natin so people can actually see a glimpse of how these actually work. No? So, Berna, what would you want to get out of the session? Or if that feels a little bit more far-fetched, how would you like to feel after our session?
To feel be motivated po and
Motivated.
to act also like a coach, as a leader to others.
Okay. Yeah. Nabanggit mo yung motivated, 'di ba? Sabi mo gusto mo maging motivated. I can sense that this is coming from somewhere. Can I understand a little bit more about that? Why do you want to feel motivated?
Because we have as a student, we have an upcoming qualifying exam ng Bachelor of Science in Accountancy next month.
And what would the motivation help with? Kung meron kang motivation, paano siya makakatulong sa'yo?
Siguro it will help me po na to start little by little na to trust myself, na to have a confidence.
Right. I love that. Parehong-pareho tayo, 'di ba? Naghahanap din tayo ng source of confidence. No? So, it's clear now what we're trying to get at, no? Na sabi mo, gusto mo ma-feel yung motivation. At ang kaakibat nun is kapag may motivation ka, makikita mo yung confidence na, sige, gora na tayo, haharapin na natin yung accountancy exam. Tama ba?
Yes.
Right. I love that. So, what's working well for you at the moment?
By being mentally free, parang being discard ko po or being declutter all the things that will make me upset or will make me sad.
Yeah.
Na parang ayun po muna bago to start talaga na actual reviewing.
I mean, that sounds like a great plan already. Like I see Alma here reacting as well, 'di ba? Parang it's so intuitive already in you, Berna, na alam mo kung ano yung kailangan mo, which is of course, kailangan natin mag-declutter, kailangan natin tanggalin yung mga distractions, baka mas makatulong, mas gumaan yung feeling natin bago tayo mag-aral, right? So, what's not working then?
What's not working for me po siguro is yung anxiety every night na
I see.
And also social media po siguro. And siguro yung time, because as a working student rin po, ayun, medyo kaagaw yung time.
Ngayon, Berna, now that you're giving me a bigger picture of what the situation is, nararamdaman ko talaga na hindi lang to ganun kadali, no? Na, oo, kaya kong maghimay-himay ng oras bago mag-aral, pwede akong magtanggal ng distractions, but at the end of the day, there are other things that are present, right?
Yes.
Working student, no? Nakaka-anxiety yung wala kang oras, tapos nun, siguro, no, sabihin naman natin na hindi ka na distracted sa work. But the fact that may kaakibat ang work di ba? Siyempre yung kita, at kailangan mo ng kita for something. So I imagine that this is all coming into play with everything that's happening with your situation. Would you say na tama ba 'yon?
Yes po.
Hmm. Yeah. So, ano yung options na meron tayo ngayon?
Ayun po. My options po is to have to review po before the exam na
Right.
to ano po, na hindi po ma-distract and
Mhm.
mag-pause muna sa work, magpaalam,
Mag-pause muna
ganun
sa
po.
work. Yeah. Oo. Oo. So, sa tingin mo, ano yung pinaka-helpful doon sa mga nabanggit mo? Kung sisimulan mo siya, no, ano yung pinaka-helpful doon sa listahan mo?
Siguro pinaka-helpful po yung ano po, yung magkaroon po ng peace of mind, yung pagka-declutter. Kasi
Mm.
yung sa work naman, you can do it naman. Pero yung
Mm.
parang yung to motivate yourself, parang it is hard.
Tama. Mahirap talaga mag-motivate na sarili. No, tapos sabi mo pa nga na kung siguro magde-declutter ka lang, tatanggalin mo lang yung magkakaroon ka lang ng peace of mind, no? Baka makatulong 'yon. I want to just check in with you ha. Kung sinabi mo na gusto mo sana na makapag peace of mind tayo, mag-declutter, pero tapos nabanggit mo din yung meron ka ding dinadala kasing anxiousness and yung nadidistract ka, no? And you're feeling still very worried, no? If ginawa natin yung pagtanggal ng peace of mind, no? Pag nasagot natin yung peace of mind, do you think that you will actually be able to move forward with feeling motivated already?
Yes po.
You think that that's possible?
Yes.
So ano nang gagawin mo para mangyari yun?
Ayun po, na by by action na po, na hindi ko na po siya, yung parang, di ba ako po kasi madalas na, mas mga tagalan po tayo sa pag-iisip ng mga bagay kung paano natin
Oo.
nakagagawin.
Oo.
So, ayun, kung by little po, dito into action.
Yeah. Parang naisip ko tuloy yung Nike, yung just do it, di ba? Kumbaga, basta gawin mo kasi alam mo na yun yung kailangan eh. Tama ba?
Yes po.
So, mayroon ka pa bang kailangang i-consider before starting? Baka meron ka nakikitang obstacles that might be a hindrance to what it is that you want to do?
Hindrance po.
Baka may obstacle or sabi mo kanina, naiisip mo na yung work, 'di ba, paminsan nauubusan ka ng oras. Nabanggit mo din kanina na gusto ko sana yung baka pwedeng mag-pause ng trabaho cause mas makaka-free up ng oras mo. Is that still something that you wanted to consider?
Siguro po, aside po din yung pagiging officer din po. In an organization.
Okay. Ititigil mo din yon.
Siguro po, hindi na po. Kasi patapos na rin po yung term.
Okay.
Pero ayun nga po, na-enjoy po, na-enlighten na rin po ako sa discussion natin na like a leader and officer, not as a coach, na you should motivate yourself. Na yung coach po pala, na hindi pa sila dapat yung lagi nagbibigay sa'yo ng sagot. Kundi ilalabas lang nila yung sagot mula sa'yo.
Right. Yeah. So, kamusta yung naging conversation natin, Berna? Ano yung nag-shift for you from when we started to when we're just about to end now? Ano yung naramdaman mong nagbago na?
Ano po, it's a good po kasi para natanong ko nga po yung sarili ko.
'Di ba? Parang ang simple lang nung approach natin, no? And I can imagine that the people who are going through the same questions, pwede din nila to tanungin sa sarili nila, 'di ba? Para ma-decipher 'yon. So, thank you so much, Berna, for volunteering. Thank you so much. Can everybody extend a hand for Berna, no? Palakpakan po tayo. That was so brave of her, and I really commend her for willing to be witnessed and surface all of that which was stopping her from getting to yung point niya of moving forward. 'Diba? So ayan, nakikita mo, Berna, na ang daming sumusupport sa iyo. So baka po pwede nyo rin bigyan ng words of encouragement si Berna sa pinagdadaanan niya, no? Maybe other people have gone to the accountancy exam or are also about to face it, no? Maybe you can also give words of encouragement for her. So thank you so much, Berna, for allowing us that space. So you can now see how it can be quite so simple. 'Di ba? Sinundan ko lang yung format natin as a coach, no? Pero hindi lang po 'yun ganun kasimple, no? Remember how I also made sure that it was clear. Ano nga ba yung sinasabi niya na gusto niya maging motivated? 'Di ba? Sabi ko, paano, saan yun nanggagaling? Bakit gusto mo maging motivated? Para saan yung motivation na 'yon? 'Di ba? Sabi niya, gusto ng motivation kasi may confidence siyang mapupulot from that motivation to just be able to study what she needs to study for the exam. Right? 'Di ba? After all, siya yung nag-isip ng sagot niya na okay, merong mga distractions, pero kailangan ko lang talagang gawin yung sinabi kong kailangan kong gawin, which is to just study. I'll make the plan na kailangan ko siyang gawin, I'll just go for it, right? So that was natural for her. Some people might not have the easiest time to do that. So maghahanap sila ng iba't ibang paraan. People can take this in very different direction, but what it matters most is yung coachee na kausap nyo. It's possible that Berna could have said na, alam mo, nararamdaman ko na I should instead maybe give myself some time to wind down and focus. 'Di ba? Mag-spend ako ng 5 minutes just to be mindful and go through maybe a yoga exercise. That will clear my mind. That is a way forward, but that might not be the way forward for Berna. Baka for another person, no? If I were Berna, no, ang way forward ko would have been maybe I would just write out in my journal my game plan of what it is that I want to achieve for the night. And that will give me the clarity that I want. Diba? Iba-iba po yung paraan para mag-progress at mag-move forward ang mga tao. But it matters most that, again, diba, we treat our clients or our coaches with the resourcefulness, the wholeness, their creativity. Sila na mag-iisip kung paano nila paiikutin sa isipan nila yung motivation na kailangan nila. Right? So, ang dami na nagli-leave ng mga messages nila, Berna. So, hopefully you can read them and you will be encouraged further. No? Mas mamotivate ka lalo na hindi ka nag-iisa. So, ayun. Ayan. So, again, with practicing coaching skills as a coach, we want to be able to hold ourselves with the accountability na kailangan may coach's mindset tayo. Hindi pwedeng nakikita natin na tayo lang ang expert, no? We want to co-create a conversation that we will have with our clients or with our coaches, no? Our team members, sila ang expert din ng buhay nila. So it's helping them bring out the answers from within. And we can do that by actively listening, 'di ba? Papakinggan talaga natin yung mga dinadamdam nila, yung mga desires nila. What are they trying to achieve and overcome? Diba? And you saw me specifically do that with Berna. And finally, we want to ask powerful solution-focused questions. The examples I gave a while ago, yung grow natin, diba? The goal, the reality, the options, and the way forward. These are just some of the ways that we can ask powerful solution-focused questions. There is a post online that I can probably share with you while we have time, maybe later, na it's 50 questions of all these different ways to ask yung goal and yung reality and yung options and yung way forward ng ating mga clients, no? So ayan po, no? So simply put, if we were to become a coach leader and we wanted to grow our skills as a coach and the leader at the same time, ito po yung kailangan nating ma-practice. All right. And let me just share with you a quick, well, it's not so quick, but it's a meaningful excerpt that I now really take to heart as a coach, no, as a leader and as a coach. Ito na po yung pinanghahawakan ko talaga with everybody that I work with. And it's really so meaningful, and I want to be able to share that with you. And some of you might feel that the same way, na ito yung gusto niya ring panghawakan na practice moving forward. Okay? So let me read it for you. So, yung inahan tulad po ng isang coach dito, yung pagiging isang mountain guide, ang pagkakaroon ng isang coach. Sabi niya, mountain guides do not climb mountains for people. No, nothing is accomplished really if you hire me. No, if you hire me as your mountain guide and pay me merely to plant your flag on the summit, meaning babayaran mo ako as a coach to do the work for you. As your guide, I help you plan the climb. We assess your readiness for the climb. We examine what you have and what you need in equipment and resources. What is naturally within you already. And ano pa yung mga pwede mong sandalan. Together, we determine a route to take. We plan how long the journey will take and allow for elements we can control, be it weather or family crisis. We examine what your personal goals are, and we get clear on what a successful and fulfilling climb will be for you. Okay? Mountain guides do not make people climb mountains. The motivation for the climb has to be within the climber. During times of discouragement, I may lend support or even challenge you to reach a little deeper for strength I know you have. I also know that your chances of success are far greater if your motivation is internal. Naririnig na natin yan kanina pa. You want to climb this mountain. You want to climb this mountain. You are excited about it, and you anticipate that the journey will in itself be a large part of the pleasure of the experience. Okay? Finally, most importantly, your chances of success are far greater just because you aren't doing it alone. Knowing that I am there with you on the journey shifts your entire mental approach. Pag may kasama ka, di ba, you push through the temptation to turn back prematurely. Baka nagawa mo na siya in the past. As you look over at me climbing beside you, you know I will hold you accountable to yourself to do what you said you have come to do. You also know that you retain your freedom, and if you choose to turn back, you will not be criticized for it. So when we do summit, it is your flag that is planted, not mine, for this was your journey. It was you and the mountain, and your coach was like a good solid rope, a support. So yun po yung pinahawakan natin as coaches, and yun po yung magandang panghawakan as coaches. And with that, I actually end our webinar for this afternoon for Coach Leader Ka Ba? How coaching leadership benefits our teams. I hope that was very meaningful for everybody, and you've learned a lot from today. So I think we can move forward with questions na, Gabby and Hannah.
Sure, ayan. Again, no ending PSEP, no? So it's time for us to gather all the questions that you might have had in your brain. And I will flash on the screen right now. You can use the device, pwede nyo i-scan yung QR code na to, or someone in our chat will give you the link. Ayan, si Joyce has sent it. Sana lang di siya matabunan, pero ayan, you can click that link to ask Gio some questions.
Yes, and kung makikita natin, Alma, in our chat box, a lot of them are applauding Gio and Berna for sharing that co-creation of a coaching conversation.
Yes, exactly. Ayan. If possible. Ayan.
Yeah.
This is our co-host Gabby, who wasn't able to make it this morning, but she's joining us again this afternoon. Ayan. Guys, for context, it is Gabby's birthday today. Bigyan naman natin siya ng happy birthday, Gabby.
Happy birthday, Gabby!
Mo talaga yun, Alma. Thank you, guys.
Ayan. Okay.
Okay, abangan yung banner namin dyan, Gabby.
Ayan. Gabby, maybe you could share so that the people will see the questions. Okay. Ayan, so don't be shy. So this program that we use on Pigeonhole, ayan, makikita mo na anonymous siya. So ayan, Gabby, you wanna ask the first question?
Okay,
Wow.
so I think we can do this. Dahil, Gio, alam mo, nakaka-relate ako dito. So
Totoo yan.
Someone alongside, you have lots of responsibilities and tasks to do.
Yeah, this is a great question, and I think a lot of leaders, no, or starting managers will probably be struggling with this particular endeavor, 'di ba? Na ang hirap bilang isang employee, tapos may meron ka ding katuwang or subordinate, right? Ang hirap kapag pare-pareho kayo na may responsibility. So paano mo nabibigyan ng oras at ng space or brain space or tawag dito, panahon para matulungan mo din ma-coach yung kasama mo. And Gabby, I'm sure you can attest to this, that my responsibilities and my tasks, number one, revolve around coaching. So I'm lucky that that's my case. No, but if it's not, and I'm doing this with some people then in the organization, no, I just happen to find that just making time for these people or for the people I want to coach, just it really gives it a lot more clarity on what our time should be about, and mas nare-respect namin yung oras ng isa't isa. 'Di ba? Alam niya marami akong responsibilities and my tasks, right? And it is my responsibility as a leader nor as a manager to be able to say, I can only give you this much time, but I am willing to give you this much time, right? So during this moment or during this space that I'm giving you, let's maximize this. Kaya importante yung grow model natin sa conversation. Because kung wala po tayong agenda, paikot-ikot lang tayo, no? So Gabby and I have made this mistake from time to time that we will not have an agenda, but we will need support from one another. And mangyayari is paminsan kwentuhang marites ang nangyayari. It sometimes happens because hindi natin mapipigilan yan. But the fact that we can set aside time and really put piece in together na, okay, ito, responsibilities and tasks natin yan together, no? Sometimes, di ba? Mas mahirap pa nga yun i-piece together sometimes, di ba? Na ako pala yung mag-a-adjust for you. But it makes it clearer, no? When we coach someone, it makes it clear when we have conversations, how can I be supportive as a manager to this person? Di ba? And at the same time, as a manager, because I am doing a open conversation with my team member, I can also tell them hanggang saan lang din yung kaya ko. Because again, we trust that our team members are their own experts already. They may not be expert at their work, no, but they are expert with their own resources sa buhay nila. So ilam nila kung paano i-maximize yung mga ganung bagay. So sila yun na yung hihingi nung tulong kung saan ka ba makakasuporta. And you can tell them directly na, okay, para respectful din tayo sa oras ko, I can give you this much time, no? But after that, we'll have to revisit it forward. You'll have to find your own ways, no? And sometimes, because we hold that mindset na capable naman si team member eh. Diba? They are creative, they are resourceful. It's easier for us to actually trust that they will uncover for themselves the process that needs to take place. No? Gabby, have you felt like I've let you in isolation, that you actually didn't have what you needed during the situation that you needed help or support?
Oh, alam mo yun, parang
mukhang may unstable connection si Gabby na konti.
Oo nga eh. I'm so sorry. Gabby na napasa bigla sa iyo kung kailan nag-lock yung internet.
Space and time for each. What support? Ito, is it better?
Yes.
Is this better?
Yan.
Okay, I hope it's this. Sabi ko, no, you haven't made me feel that. Kasi parang we're both clear. Kahit nag-extend tayo, parang we're both clear na this is the kind of support that we need.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, we check on each other na parang, does this energize you? That's what I always hear from you. Na parang, this energizes me even if it's something heavy or whatnot. So yun, Gio.
Yeah, thank you. So yun, no, it's impossible to not have responsibilities and tasks alongside with other people. But when we have open and clear conversations and honest conversations with our team members, alam po natin kung hanggang saan lang tayo. So we should be able to voice it out because sila mismo, humihingi sila ng tulong kasi alam nila hanggang saan lang din sila. So pwede po natin yun ibalik. This is, again, a co-created relationship and it is not just you trying to solve their problem or fixing their responsibilities and tasks for them. It is our role to just have them, you support them. Kaakibat mo ko, di ba? It is
Mm-mm.
their flag that is planted, and sila yung magsasucceed after all. So at the end of the day, sandalan ka lang. Ikaw yung pwedeng pagtungunan ng support kung kakailanganin. Right? So, but you should not be sacrificing your entire time just to help people. No. So I think that answers that question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, how
Good
about our
enough
next
time.
question? Yeah. Wow, ang daming biglang
Ako
nagtanong.
nga
Okay.
Is there anything that interests you, Gio?
What can I do as a coach if a coach is full of yet unmotivated most of the time? Okay. Wala pa akong napipinpoint. Maybe sa inyo. Okay. I like this question. No? Yung 6 votes. Do you believe that it's always okay to seek help from others? Right. Okay. So, basahin muna natin ng dahan-dahan yung question. No? Do you believe that it is always okay to seek help from others, or that it is acceptable to keep the problem to yourself? Because you pointed out earlier that unsolicited advice was taking place. Right. And I think with this question in mind, no, oftentimes people are actually capable of keeping the problems to themselves. And with respect with Filipino culture, I think most of the time people choose to keep the problems to themselves. So, wala namang masama na ikimkim mo yung problema eh. Ayaw mo mandamay ng iba? How gracious of you that you're sparing people of your problem. That's totally fine. No? And I also think that with your question, is it always okay to seek help? I think it is always okay to seek help, but but also making sure na you are safeguarding the people that you are also asking help from. Hindi sila dapat na nauubusan ng sarili nilang lakas sa pagtulong sa'yo. Right? If you want to ask for help, you just be mindful of what is okay and what is okay to ask. And you should let them voice it out. Diba? Paminsan kayo na pwede mangunahan. Okay lang ba yung hinihingi ko? Is that possible? Or it's really fine that if you're not able to, I just feel that that's the support I need. But if that's not the case, maybe someone else can be able to provide that. No? Ang iiwasan natin kasi technically is if we are going to keep the problems to ourselves and we aren't able to manage it anymore, it becomes a bigger problem in the longer run. No? Yun yung pinaka masaklap naman sa lahat eh. Sa dulo na yung pagsisisi. Hindi mo sinabi, hindi mo kwento, sumabog na lahat ng emotion. Hindi na pwedeng maayos. No? So yun yung kailangan talaga nating iwasan because ang hirap naman din, and this is coming from personal experience, no? I'm sure I've heard from some other people this particular problem, right? That sometimes we think that kakayanin natin siya until it's too late, and then mental health just drops suddenly. No? People are surprised by how anxiety and depression hits them really hard that you can no longer escape from it. Right? And yung sinasabi ng mga tao na at the same time, we want to be making sure that we are not too dependent on others. Total, di ba? Kailangan makapag-isip tayo for ourselves. We should be able to lead from our own spaces. Right? But I'm also cautious of something, no? When people are asking for help from us regularly, I wonder if it's really the help that they're seeking or the connection. Sometimes I'm mindful of that. And we never know until we give it a shot or we ask or tayo yung mismo mag-reach out. No? Because sometimes people will be asking help because naghahanap lang talaga sila ng karamay and connection. And maybe people are really tired of helping others because they think that they have to solve the other people's problem. But all you have to do is just extend, we can always extend what it is, yung maririnig lang sila, mapapakinggan lang sila. Ano ba yung pinagdadaanan nila? Yun lang. Right? Maybe they're not actually asking for us to solve their problem. No? Sabihin lang nila, uy, kailangan ko lang na may makinig sa akin. Sometimes, that's also powerful for people. So we want to make sure that we are also mindful of that exercise, no? And then siguro last thing, and I'm trying to make sure I pick it up because it was very important. Um, there is also that other side where people are asking to are yung mga tao na mismo naghahanap ng tulong. Paminsan nangyayari yan. Maybe, do you need my help? No? Do you need support? Do you need help? How can I be helpful to you? These are people that are feeling like they're actually not needed, and then they're trying to maximize their resources for other people. Kasi okay sa kanila, puno sila. And maybe on the other spectrum, 'di ba? Meron ding nagbibigay na tulong kasi sa kanila, they want that connection, no? You can liken it to a parent that's always asking, may kailangan ka ba? May tulong ka ba? Nag-a-advise. Because gusto pa nila na may silbi sila. They want to feel connected with you pa rin. And that can also happen sometimes in team situations. No? So, ayun. I think we can respect the top voted question. Let's see if, ayan. Okay, sabi dito, what if you are given the task to lead, but you know in yourself that you don't have the skills yet? This is a really self-aware question. No, it's oftentimes we as leaders or recently transitioned leaders, we're not quite sure yet. Do we actually have the skills to lead people? No. Naririnig ko yung doubt sa question na to na alam mo, wala sa akin hindi ko kaya pa yung skills na to. And maybe, my first intuition here is maybe you need a coach to just help you sift through what are the skills that you think you should have and what are the skills that you already have that can work as a great leader. Diba? Maybe it's talking to someone who can help you identify where your resources are, saan na yung strengths mo, and maybe you can lean on those as a leader. And you can also identify yung weaknesses mo. So pwede kang humingi sa team members mo nung support na yon kasi hindi ka pa fully experienced sa ganong skill set. I think the most important acknowledgement here as leaders is that no one is actually expecting us to know that we have all the skill sets. Okay? And let me put this forward with you. Kahit na ilang taon na yung leader na yon sa position nila, at one point, they will experience a situation where they haven't faced it before. Because life goes on in circles. We come about facing different scenarios. Noon dati walang iPhone, ngayon meron na. We've transitioned to a completely virtual setup. People are coming back from online setup to hybrid setup. Bago pa lang, laging may bagong nangyayari, 'di ba? COVID wasn't something that happened before. No, it didn't change our world this much that we had to adjust. Every leader had to adjust in this situation. So as leaders, we don't actually have to have all the skills. But what we need to have is the care and compassion for our team members. May pakialam ba tayo sa kanila? Because if you have that in place in the very beginning, finding ways to be more compassionate to them, to be more supportive of them, to provide the training that they need, or to identify resources that you can all benefit from. Nanggagaling na yun sa inyo kasi natural yung pakikipagkumbaba nyo. Your desire to lead is natural. Your desire to motivate others. Your desire to care for others. Your desire to teach and inform others and to educate others. That is natural within you. And I think that is more important as a trait, as a leader, as opposed to the skills that we have. Total, lahat ng skills na tututunan eventually, no? And the best type of skill can be developed through experience almost all the time, right? Sabi ni John, if you feel like you do not have the skills yet, no? Let me read it properly. If you don't have the skills yet, plan on how to get them. Be intentional about getting them. Expert power is always a great source of influence. feel free to invest on it. You may also look at your other sources of influence like information power, rewards power, even your likability or referent power. Those are sources of influence also to be a good leader. Totoo yan, no? Maraming iba't ibang paraan para maging mabuting leader. And it's not just about skill set, right? Katulad nung sa coaching skills, it's not just all about skill set, no, but it's the care that you have with people, and the everything else that revolves around leadership can all be developed, 'di ba? Sabi nga ni John, nahahanapan kung paano ng paraan para maabot 'yon. Basta magsimula ka lang sa gusto mo talaga, right? So maybe for this person, they're actually not feeling like they want to lead. So ayun lang, no? Baka that might be the concern. Baka ayaw niyo pala mag-lead, no? Hindi pala kayo comfortable. And then that's something that you have to voice out. But if you are wanting to lead, then I think there is a way to find out about all the skills that you might need. So ayun, no? May iba pa ba tayong question? Do we have time? It's already 4:29.
It's already 4:29. But what I love is if Gabby will go back, you'll see na sobrang daming questions from the entire crowd. I think that's the best part. Gio, that's the best part about Gio being a coach. No, he is also open to you reaching out to him if you really want to take these questions a step further and you want to learn
Yes,
from him. Pero
exactly.
ayun, no, I would agree, Gio, that might be we are sort of pushing our time limit ng onte. So again, I want to thank everyone for giving questions, no? And yeah, I wish we had all the time, but then unfortunately we don't. So if you have any questions, you can reach out to our email so I can even ask those questions directly to Gio and we can get back to you if you really need that question answered. So ayan, thank you everyone. Going back, I'm gonna share my screen again, no? If you guys don't mind. Actually, before I close, Gio, maybe you had a final point that you wanted to um to let the crowd know.
Well, I think it's actually part of the slides na rin naman. If not, let me share mine actually para clear siya. Okay. Hold on. Ayan. So for a lot of you who have witnessed this entire process, no, and you've learned a lot from coaching, you can actually find out more about our services through facebook.com/positive workplacesph. But we can also have you can also reach us at our website, no, at positiveworkplaces.org, and you can actually find out all about our different consultants, coaches, trainers, and experts sa ating website. So if you are hungry for your own coaching and you wanted to get some coaching done for yourself or for your team, you can actually reach us out, no, sa PW Academy form, and you can learn all about the service, and we can have conversations around how can we best support you in your situation. So ayun, Alma, that's all that I wanted to share for this coaching opportunity for everybody else, no? So it's an open conversation that we can have right away. The cost can be something that we can discuss much further down the line. It's more important that we actually see how we can fit each other's needs, no? Kung may matutulong ba talaga ako sa situation nyo, or the other coaches can really identify how to find pathways for you in what it is that you're seeking. So ayun, Alma, take it away.
Yes, ayan. Thanks for that, Gio. And again, no, so he did not only just tell us how we can be coach leaders and how it can be beneficial for a team. He also he also told us rather that he is opening himself as a coach for everyone that can avail. So again, that was a really, really great session. Ako, if I might have a minute or two to share my key takeaway, it's that being a coach leader can be very daunting. But then seeing that live session that you did with si Berna, who I again also want to personally thank for putting yourself out there. Nakikita natin na I was really taking notes on how you could do it, the framework, the the grow framework, kayang-kaya talaga siya gawin if you really put your mind in it. And then it really breaks this ideology na if you're a coach, you have to have all the answers. No, a coach can actually just ask you the right questions. And just like yung nakita natin na ginawa ni Gio led Berna to the answers that was already within her. Like, I love that Gio was able to break that stigma, and I hope that encourages many more people to consider becoming more than a leader, but actually a coach leader. So, ayun. Gio, I want to thank you so much for this fruitful session. And si Gabby will actually present something for you, which is going to be on the next slide.
Yes, so we would like to present the certificate of appreciation to you, Jericho Kapinpin, for generously providing your time and expertise as a resource speaker for our webinar from Coach Leader Kabahaw, Coach Leadership Benefits Team, held on the 26th of April 2022, signed by John Baluyot and Nikki Vergara, our Chief Enabling Officer and Chief Wellbeing Officer.
So,
Thank you
ayan.
so much.
Yes, thank you, Gio. Ayan. Of course, we want to thank the audience also for coming. But before we thank you, this was our free webinar series this April. This was the second session. Keep in mind that we have another session this Friday. So if you like this one, why don't you cap it off and attend our session this Friday to know more about confidant leadership, which is drawing the line between leadership and friendship. And Gabby, I think it's a really interesting concept, no? Because dumadami na yung mga bosses that are very friendly and workers that actually confide in their bosses. Is this a good thing, a bad thing? Let's find out this Friday, no? Before I let go of you guys, Gio mentioned you can follow us in facebook.com to see more of our posts. And he also told you guys that there is a form. Again, we're going to resend it in the chat so you see how that form is. And what's nice about that, I can actually show you guys very quickly. It's a very intuitive process. So pag open nyo ng form, makikita nyo how may we contribute to your well-being. So as Gio mentioned, if you're looking for coaching services, you can just easily click here that I want coaching services. And then you can put in the information that you like. And if you go to our website, you can see our experts and coaches there with just a couple of clicks. And then you can even ask for them. And of course, you can be detailed with your request. So that makes things easier for us. And I hope that makes things easier for you guys also if you want to contact Positive Workplaces for any trainings and services. So going back, again, our session is ending. I want to thank everyone again for making it today. And please, if you want to email us. Our email is learn@positiveworkplaces.org. And finally, we will now be sending the post-evaluation form. So please be sure to write your name and email with the right spelling and legibly, as the mistakes, we won't be able to resend those certificates. So ayan, thank you everyone for joining us this afternoon. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.